Hey guys, it's Bailey and welcome back to the channel for what is going to be the monthly beauty favorites. It's that time again, so let's just go ahead and dive in. We all know what this is about. I actually have a lot of drugstore picks. In fact, I think they're all drugstore picks this month. I think it's because there have been a lot of new launches lately there, and so I've been trying a lot of new products, and quite a few of them have stuck. So priming is a good place to start. I feel like it's a natural place to start. So I've been loving the Maybelline MasterPrimer long-lasting eyeshadow bases, and I think these were actually in my January favorites, not this one in particular. I initially picked up the other two. One is kind of like a satin or a pearlescent, and the other one is more of an outright shimmery shade. This one I spotted in the drugstore because I didn't spot this one with the other two when I picked them up. Finally found the third one. This is, I think it's Prime and Matte. And so this doesn't really have, I mean, it has a slightly satin finish, but it really is more about mattifying and evening out the skin tone. I find it's very close to Painterly Paint Pot, I believe, not quite as opaque. Like, don't think it's nearly as opaque. It's not quite as, well, it's not really sticky at all. It goes on as a very thin cream and then dries down pretty quickly, but it does a really nice job at just evening out the skin tone on my lids, because I find that I have small veining, capillaries, things like that really show through the thin skin on my eyelids. So this just does a good job at evening that out, as well as creating a nice even base for eyeshadows to pop against. The one thing I don't like about these though is I feel like, I haven't been using these for all that long, 2 months max, and there is less and less product already coming out on the brush. I'm not running out of it because I haven't used that much of it. I feel like it's this rubber stopper up here that's really holding me back, so I might need to do some surgery on this container, but beyond that, really like the product itself. While we're on eyes, I want to talk about the liner I've been loving, and these I haven't actually talked about in a separate video, like done a review or anything like that, I don't think. But they kind of slipped in under the radar. And I think it's because I was so late to the game that I thought, no one cares what I think about these, I'm just gonna start using them. They are the Colourpop Cream Gel Colors. These are the potted ones, not the stick liners. And the shade in particular I have been loving is Superstition. It's this gorgeous deep khaki green. And then there's a shimmer in here that initially you look in the pot and it kind of looks like it shifts gold, but once it's on your lid, there's like some fun purple shifts in there. It's just a really multifaceted liner shade, but it's nice and deep and dark, so it looks very understated, but once you kind of get up close or you kind of play with it in the light, there are some flecks and some facets in there that makes it a little more interesting than your average black liner. And as a formula in general, for $6, these are pretty unbeatable. I mean, they're super smooth, creamy, they apply without tugging or anything on wherever you want to apply them, basically. And then once they're on, they're budge proof. I mean, it's true to Colourpop's reputation. These are a really steadfast formula, super comfy to wear, and don't come off until you want them to come off. So really recommend this whole line. I can make a separate video talking about all the shades I got, because I do have quite a few of them. Some are very basic and others are a little bit more fun. Like, I'm gonna start playing with lavenders, and I think I have a mint or something for spring and summer. So let me know if you want to see a separate video reviewing those and talking about the shades, or if you just want to see them in tutorials and stuff, but really recommend them either way. Last up for eyes is a mascara, and this is another one that I did talk about this month, either in a separate review or I've talked about it before, and I'll link to that in the info bar below if you actually want to see a full-blown review of this. But it is the Rimmel Super Curler 24-Hour Volume and Curl Mascara, and typically I am not one to look for a curling mascara. I don't tend to have that problem with my lashes. Like, I'm more so looking for volume and length, but I really like the volume and length this gave my lashes, and just noticed it gave it that extra oomph as far as shape goes, and then helped hold it throughout the day. It's a great formula, really steadfast, gonna last you all day without flaking or budging, things like that. And it's from the drugstore. Yeah, I've really been loving it lately. Moving on to the rest of the face, this is a rediscovered love. I am trying to get back into doing the Shop My Stash tutorials. I most recently did one using the Urban Decay Naked palette, and in those I do kind of like to rediscover, it's primarily rediscovering old eyeshadow palettes that are oldies but goodies, but in looking through my stash, I do tend to look for other products that I have loved, and in that particular tutorial, I rediscovered my Physicians formula. I always forget what this is called. It is the Nude Wear Touch Up Glow Foundation, and mine is in the shade Light Fair. I, probably a year ago when this came out, fell in love with this, used it a ton. I mean, like, it stinks that there's this little thing here, because it's way down there. It's getting down there. And then I tossed it aside in, trying new different foundations. It just got pushed to the back of my stash. So rediscovered that and found that I forgot how much I loved the beautiful, glowy, dewy finish it gave my skin while also providing full coverage. And on camera, it comes off a little oily. I do have combination skin, and so something that I struggle with is kind of controlling the shine, because I love beautiful, healthy, dewy skin. But as someone with combo skin, I naturally develop excess oil throughout the day. And so this is not what I'm wearing right now. I'm actually testing what is a mattifying foundation. This is the Hourglass Immaculate Liquid Powder Foundation, mattifying, oil-free. And it's the shade Ivory. It's a hint too orange for my skin tone, but the other shade I have, Shell, is way, way too light. So what are you gonna do? That's what I'm wearing, just as a side note. But in pretty much every other video this month, I have been wearing the Physicians formula and have just been loving the glow that it gives my skin. And back to what I was saying earlier, I know it looks a little shiny on camera, but in natural light and just every day, I find that it gives my skin that glow without breaking down throughout the day as I produce my own oil naturally throughout the day. So I highly recommend this if you haven't checked it out and you're looking for one of those natural finish, healthy glow foundations. Last product is also a face product, and once again, one that I talked about in a review that I will link down below. It is the Kate Sculpting and Highlight Palette in the shade Coral Glow. This is by Rimmel, and this is a very popular, like the mostly contoured highlight, but a few of the new palettes like this in the drugstore also have a blush. The Maybelline is one that made it in my favorites last month, but discovered this one this month, and I think I might love it even more, mostly because the contour shade in here, I would call it more of a bronzer because it does have such a satiny finish. I mean, it's not matte by any means, so I like it for all over bronzing, but it's nice and cool, so you're not gonna get like an all over orange bronze from this. Then this particular, I think there are 3 of these, but I have the coral one. It's this gorgeous kind of peachy pink blush, universally flattering, but also very buildable, even though it looks relatively light in this palette. And then the highlight. I just, if they sold this individually, I would buy 5 of them immediately because it is such a gorgeous highlight. It's not frosty white, but it's not like yellowy champagne. This is not doing it any justice. Like I said, go watch that video because it will give you all the info you need, but basically I think this is totally worth it. A great new launch from Rimmel. So that's it from me, guys. Really hope you enjoyed learning more about my favorites in the month of February. Would love to hear yours in the comment section below. Let me know what they are. In the meantime, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.